Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the I Made My Mark podcast. Today, we have Olivia joining us to share a little bit about their time at JMU. Olivia, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a senior at JMU. I'm graduating this December. I studied studio art with the art education licensure with a concentration in ceramics, which is really fun. Um, I'm from Culpeper, Virginia, and I'm also a transfer student.
Awesome. What organizations have you made your mark in around campus?
So I've been in various organizations throughout my time at JMU. I started out with a vegetarian vegan club called Food for Thought, and I actually was their treasurer for a little bit.
Cool.
And then when I decided to go into the arts, I joined Kappa Pi, which is an honors fraternity. And how I know you is through orientation. So I worked for orientation in 2020 as well.
Awesome. Yes, we love the 2020 orientation team. If you could describe JMU in one word, what would it be and why?
I would say opportunity because it just opened up so many different doors for me versus what I had at community college. Not that community college is bad, but like JMU had so many different resources for me to use, and I'm really glad I picked them as a school overall.
Yeah, that's awesome. And after you graduate, what are your next steps going to be, and how are you going to take JMU into this next chapter of your life?
So short term, I'll be student teaching this spring,
Mhm.
and after that, I'll be hopefully a full-time art teacher. um, I really loved the art education program here at JMU and like just learning about how we can incorporate art into so many different things and especially like JMU's ethics and stuff like that that they try to incorporate. Um, I think that's really vital these days
Definitely.
in like especially the field of education.
Mhm.
So I'm going to incorporate it that way.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And throughout COVID, since that's kind of been impacting us for the past year and a half to 2 years, how did having that hybrid format during your senior year change your expectations for the year and challenge you to adapt?
It certainly gave a different viewpoint for me.
Mhm.
Um, I kind of walked into it being like, yeah, I'm gonna get this in-person experience with these students in my practicum and student teaching, and then boom, you have to learn online and kind of adapt to this new diverse situation. Um, and especially like when I was working with orientation, we had a hybrid situation as well. So it taught me to stay on my toes a little bit
Yeah.
and be okay with change, which is a huge thing, especially as a young person to be okay with.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we're going to be the most flexible generation so far
Yeah.
after all of this. And what was it like? What has it been like working with students virtually in person, like as a hybrid kind of thing?
Um, it's been really kind of engaging,
Mhm.
but also it's kind of had a downfall where
Mhm.
people kind of lose their momentum at times.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm really glad that we're kind of getting back to a new normal where we can try to be in person at times. But there's also still benefits to having online opportunities like we are right now.
Yeah, right.
It is something that I'll certainly keep around as an option,
Yeah.
especially with like family and friends that live far away and stuff, like being able to Zoom once in a while.
Yeah. It's always fun. And I think it's taught us things that we didn't have before and like how to utilize technology in a different way.
Yeah, it really opens up a whole different world for us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And now that you are about to be graduating, looking back on your time at JMU, if you could give your younger self a piece of advice early on in your college career, what would it be and why?
I'm going to go back to something I said earlier about change and learn to be okay with change,
Mhm.
because I started out as a completely different major from art. I was like a dietetics, like science-based major,
Mhm.
and I realized it wasn't for me. And I thought maybe it was just JMU that wasn't for me, but it was just the major. um, and that was a huge change for me because I had for a long time had my heart set on it. But then I was like, I've always been an artist. So I followed my roots, I guess.
Yeah.
And especially with the pandemic and everything, there's always a lot of change going on with that stuff going on.
Mhm.
Um, so just being okay with change.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. And like sometimes it takes time to find your passion and what you're really good at and want to do. And like being okay with that takes bravery for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you were able to do that. And overall, what do you think is the most important mark that you've made on campus? And what do you think that your legacy is going to be?
I think just putting my passions forward, like I to continue on what I was just saying, like
Mhm.
um following what is actually right for me
Mhm.
and being okay with the change, like how I went through different organizations,
Mhm.
had different friend groups, and it was all okay because it was part of me growing as a person at JMU.
Yeah.
And although I'm not like some huge leader on campus, I hope that maybe someone has seen that and is also following suit with what's best for them through just following your passion.
Yeah. And you've definitely been a big leader on campus. I know you've even inspired me. And hopefully, when other people watch this podcast, they'll be able to see that from you. And it's really inspiring to be able to embrace change and learn to go with the flow and follow your dreams for sure.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for being on the show and sharing your wisdom with us today. Us at the Student Leadership Center, we all wish you so much luck in your journey after JMU with student teaching. And we hope that you know that your JMU family is always going to be here to support you. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, Olivia.
Thank you.
Bye.